What's up, everybody? Happy
What's
Thursday.
up?
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hey, guys, if you got your cameras readily available, please turn them on. I like to see who I'm talking to. So if you got your cameras on, if you're not at work and you're not driving, right, and you're not in no compromising positions, turn your cameras on so I can see who I'm talking to. That's the way we do it. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate you doing that. We will. I like to see everybody. What's up, Donovan? Chilling up there. Chris Lyons is showing me his picture. But I just like to see everybody's face. If you got your ability, hey, Ricardo, David, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday. Let's see. I'll let you take care of that. I'm just gonna keep talking. So, guys, welcome to the Thursday. I call it Tech Thursday rather. All about the DealDriven app. This is the webinar for anybody who actually has the DealDriven app or who doesn't have the DealDriven app, and they want to find out more about it. So I'm gonna give a couple more minutes for people to jump on. But what I'd like to see in the chat is let me know where you guys are coming from. Where you at? Where you at in the United States? I know there's some people in there from Virginia, North Carolina, where else? If you put in the chat so I can shout you out, right? I want to shout you out where you're coming from. Renee says, I'm at work. I got you, Renee. Chicago's in the house, Northern Virginia, DC, DMV, Raleigh, Chi-Town's in the house, Indiana, Puerto Rico. All right. New York, Georgia, Texas, Washington State. Man, we're all over the place. Dallas, Texas. I was there this past summer. I don't like it. It's hot. So shouts out to everybody who participated in the chat. Let me go on and get this thing started. So again, my name is Barry. I'm here to talk about the DealDriven app. We do this call every Thursday at the same bat time, same bat channel. So, it's at 2 p.m. Eastern time on this Zoom channel. So everybody who has gotten this link, you can jump on this thing every Thursday, and it'll be myself or it'll be Julie who's doing this call. Actually, Julie's on vacation. She's in Puerto Rico. So whoever that was that came in from Puerto Rico, who was that? Arlene Martinez, go find Julie. No, just kidding. Don't go find her. She's just chilling. Okay. All right. So how many of you guys in here actually have the DealDriven app? If you do, just throw a 100 in the chat for me. If you already got it, throw 100 in there. I see Tony Robinson. Yeah, we got a few people popping on. Yep. Oh, thank you. Now, those people who don't have it, throw a 50 in the chat for me. Okay. 50. Renee says she's finally got the DealDriven app. She's so pumped. There you go. We got a few people who are new to the DealDriven thingamabob, the DealDriven app. Okay, cool. All right, so guys, listen, before I jump into the DealDriven app, I just want to let you know that if you don't have it, like I'm seeing a few of you people who don't have it, you're just jumping on the webinar just to see what this thing is about. This is something that we use every day, that I use every day when I'm evaluating properties. I'm actually working with other partners in our partnership. We're going through this thing. We give it to our partners and they use it on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to show you how this thing will help you in your investing career. Now, if you don't have it, all you simply got to do, and if Chloe, my trusted assistant, will throw it, she did it. She read my mind. There's a link in the chat. And if you click on that link, you'll get a 7-day free trial, okay? 7 days to test drive it, do whatever you want to do, see how it works. And if you like it, continue to use it, which I know you will, because there's some more stuff, exciting stuff that's happening with the DealDriven app. Also, we have a DealDriven community on Facebook. You just go to Facebook groups or, and type in DealDriven and you can join the group. You don't necessarily have to have the app to join the group. It will help. That way you can help other people when they come in, but you can actually jump on it, be a part of the group, and just see what's going on, see what the community is saying about the DealDriven app. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get right into this thing we call the DealDriven app. Let me get on here. I may have to redo this. Let's see. Share. Yep. Let me move this out the way. Move this out the way. I hate the little floating thing. That thing gets in your way. All right. So DealDriven app. Can everybody see my DealDriven app? If you can, give me a head nod. Yes. The people who got their cameras on. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you just now joined and you are able to turn your camera on, please do. I like to see who I'm talking to when I start asking questions or you start asking questions. It's great to see everybody. Also, if you're ever on a Zoom call, guys, and it's real estate or whatever it is, make sure people know who you are and where you're calling from or where you're at. Some of us, we know that if you put your name in there with your phone number and where you're representing or where you're doing your investing, this is how people can actually network with each other on a Zoom call. So, make sure whenever you're on a Zoom call, you always want to take that opportunity to network with people. All right. DealDriven app. This is what the DealDriven app looks like when you open it up. Okay, this is what we call the dashboard. Now, the dashboard actually has made another change. There's been another update to it. For those of you guys who've actually had the DealDriven app, last week, these boxes were a little bit bigger and the words a little bigger. There was nothing really under here. Well, now there's some more changes. So now these blue boxes, which are the dialogic boxes, these are boxes that tell you exactly what you can use these for. So like if you're doing lookup properties in GPS or address, it tells you this is ideal for when you're doing driving for dollars, or to look up information on the individual property. Okay, so it gives you a description under there now. The search for property leads nationwide using the search filters is really use this to build lists. So if you want to build a pre-foreclosure list, a tax delinquent list, a non-owner occupied list, a vacant property list, this is where you need to go right here to build that list, which I'll show you how to do that. This is where you go to view your existing list. So if you already got some created, man, you can go in there and check them out easy. All right. Finding cash buyers anywhere in the United States. All right. So this is used to search public records for anybody, whether it's an individual or an entity who's purchased a property on cash or using cash. Now, we know this list right here, the data on this is being updated. So we're going to get more updated information in the coming weeks, but you can still use it. It's going to pull up some older data or people who've purchased cash probably around 2020, maybe a couple of 2021s, but we want to get up to the 2022s. So you can use that. Run a save search. So whenever you create a list over here and you save it, instead of having to go into here and then click on another button to see your saved searches, you can just simply click right here and it's going to automatically pull up your saved searches, right? So like right now, if I click on it, it's going to open up the 2 saved searches that I got. And what you can do from here is you can actually go back to that list and check it out. You can delete it, or you can click over here and share it with somebody. So if you got team members in different parts of the United States, or if you got somebody who's just, working for you as a property locator, or some people call them bird dogs. I don't like that term. I just use property locators. You can actually share that link with them and they can open up and see your list. Okay. So that's a new box that he just added right here. And I'll show you what it looks like in a few minutes. Also, you have my marketing campaign. So you can use this to view properties that you have direct mail going to. If you didn't know, you can send direct mail using the DealDriven app. We got some postcards in here that you can actually match up what you like and send them out based off of where you're searching at. So you can send them to everybody. Then here's your courses, your profile, and then the help videos. Now, we have stuff in here that's redundant, like all this right here. This makes it easy to go to stuff, but you can also go up here to the top in the house. It simply takes you to your dashboard. This takes you to your list. This goes to the individual property lookup. This goes to the list building lookup or the lead building list. And this is the help videos right here. If you know, this is like one of those webinars where I just go through stuff. But if you kind of like, well, I got it, but I didn't get it. If you click here or if you click on here, either one, you're going to see this red box right here that says watch onboarding video. This video is a little dated. I'm going to be updating it in the coming months, but it still gives you the basic concept on how to use the DealDriven app, on how to add lists, skip trace, sending post or direct mail, all that good stuff. You can actually watch this video and you can start using the DealDriven app right away. All right. So that's that. Before I get into anything, does anybody have any questions about the DealDriven app before I start getting into it? If you do.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, is it like Remind?
Is it like?
Have you ever heard of Remind?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Well, on Stratus, because I'm also a realtor, I can go on Remind and I can do a customized search for people who are in their house that could go for foreclosures. Is that what you're doing? Because I don't know anything about.
Yeah, we can pull lists for people who are in pre-foreclosure, right? We can pull up their information that's out there when they got their notice of default. You know, if they're going to auction, you can also skip trace that information and get their phone number, emails.
Remind. It's like Remind on RPR.
Okay. If you say so.
It's because I'm a realtor and they have that access on Stratus. So I like your program, but I don't want to pay for something that I can get for free. Because I'm a realtor and I get that because I'm a realtor.
Okay. Once I start going through it, maybe there's some things in there that doesn't have. So let's see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things that we can do with the DealDriven app is.
Hi. I'm sorry, Barry. I'm really sorry, but I did want to wait for Roseanne to end. I did have a quick question. And I'm sure we'll get there, but I just want to make sure I'm all set up correctly because I am at work right now.
Gotcha.
The polygram thing. I'm not a native of where I currently live. Okay. And I'm hoping that we can get into that discussion. And I probably should have waited, but I just wanted to make sure I'm all set up okay.
Okay, no problem.
I'm very excited today because I had a little bit of trouble getting signed in to the DealDriven app. Okay. I've already got my signature set up for the direct mail, which I love. Gotcha. And you're looking quite fly today, may I say.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. You know.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I'm all set up okay. And I'm just going to step back and listen because I did write down a couple of bullets for later when we open up for questions, if that is going to be happening today. It's taken me a bit to be able to be here on a Thursday at this time because it's noon where I am. But thank you.
Oh, you in the West Coast?
No, I'm in. When you go back through the chat and everybody was raising their hand with the 50 or 100. Okay, so it's probably going to offend some people, but I'm in Denver and I call it Mayberry. I feel like I've been thrown back into 1972. And I really want to understand because there is this focus of everybody that I've listened to and the different products that I've purchased that talk about being in your first leg, which is the city that you live in. And I find it Strangeville, and I'm trying to understand it.
Well, I've been there before a couple of times. So the Mile House City, it take a little getting used to.
Yeah. it's a different breed.
Yep. Just
All
like
right,
I am
I'll
getting
let you
used to
go.
this place.
Let's not waste anybody's time. I
There you go.
appreciate you understanding that. And thank you. Thank you. By the way, for the people who are listening, when you do get on that doggone Deal app, look at the upload that you can get linked into with YouTube where Barry does his rundown. And it was just maybe 12 days ago. My light bulb just went off. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. You get that light bulb moment. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Renee. Thank you.
Indeed, indeed.
All right. So one of the things we can do with the DealDriven app, I know everybody's heard of driving for dollars. If you haven't, if you don't, then, you know, driving for dollars is basically taking a stroll. Either you're driving, walking, skateboarding, riding your bike, whatever it is, in a neighborhood, and you're looking for properties that are distressed, vacant properties, properties that people live in, right? But you see it needs some work. So with the DealDriven app, what you can do is just when you're out there in these neighborhoods is open up the DealDriven app and click on look up properties by GPS, ideal for driving for dollars. So when you click on it, it's going to open up a map. Okay. Now, whenever you're out there doing this, make sure you go over here to the navigation button, right? And click on it. So it will locate exactly where you are. Exactly. So right now I'm sitting here in this building, right? Next to the water down here in Florida. This is where I'm at. And here's a neighborhood right across the street. So if I'm out here driving for dollars, I can go ahead and start driving. It's going to follow me. And once I see properties, I just simply tap on the map. So I got a couple of I got one property already tagged. And if you see the little colors that look like Jolly Ranchers, the different colors, if you look down here at the legend, it tells you what status this property is in. Now, it doesn't get everything, but it does give you some good data to let you know, like, for instance, this is a pre-foreclosure. This house is in pre-foreclosure, okay? The blue stands for non-owner occupied. So that really means is that the owner doesn't live there, and it can be a rental property. It could have been somebody who, you know, maybe did owner financing. No, not owner financing, Airbnb or VRBO. But this lets you know this is a non-owner occupied. Also, we have vacant property. So if you pull up, if you're in a neighborhood and you see a lot of purple, there's a lot of vacant properties there. So this legend down here can tell you what is in this immediate neighborhood or wherever you're looking. So right away, you get to know what statuses are on a property without having to go and dig into, you know, different programs or whatever. It's right there in front of your face. So this is what the DealDriven app can do when you're doing your driving for dollars. So if you're out there driving and you see a property, all you simply have to do is just tap on the map, right? What it's going to do, it's going to pull up a property card. Property card is going to give you the property address of the property that you're looking at. It's going to give you a valuation. The valuation is based off of a national title company that does valuations, and they look at all these algorithms and all that good stuff, and they assign a valuation to a property. Okay. These are just numbers that you get from the jump. Okay. Then you have equity. How much equity does the house have in it? If they have any loans, the last time this property was sold and how much it was sold for, the date and everything, the type of property it is, the owner's information, who owns this property, when this information was last updated. Okay. Then you have down here, you have the ad, navigation, virtual, and more. So if you have a couple of features enabled on here, then you could do the navigation or you can do the virtual. Like on my account, I have it enabled. So when I click on virtual, what it does is it pulls up a Google Street View of the property. And so you could take a look at it, right? You can just look around the neighborhood, see what types of properties are there. Good stuff right there. Then you can go back to the map. This is where you're at. And then you can add this property to a list. So if you're out driving in the Shady Acres neighborhood, right, and you want to find as many properties as you can find that fit what you're looking for, create a list. Simply click on add. It's going to pull up add properties to a list. And then you can actually put this property in an existing list, or you can create a new list. Just label it, whatever it is, Shady Acres driving for dollars, and put the date on it, and then add the property. Now, if you're doing an existing list and you're going to put it in on an existing list, always click on exclude properties already added, because you never know, that property may have already been added into a specific list and you just forgot. So when you add a property, if this property has already been in the list, number one, you'll see it down here anyway, but for some reason it's not there and you try to add it, it's going to exclude it from that list. So it won't show up because it means you've already gotten it. But I always use this, especially when I'm creating lists in the lead building list, which I'll show you later. I always click this on because whenever you're creating lists, sometimes some of the properties, they may not be like they may be a pre-foreclosure, but they also may be vacant, or they also may be non-owner occupied. And so when you start making these different lists for different things, you don't want to have that same property in 3 different categories, right? You don't want it to be popping up all over the place. You just want to exclude it, and you want to get the most current property data information and properties in your list and not have duplicates. This right here was a feature that we just recently added, and it's working wonderfully. But you can also do that when you're creating or putting properties in existing list. Okay. So if I'm going to add this property to a list, I already got one, so I'm going to add it to all properties. When I click on confirm, it's going to do its little thing, right? And then it's going to pop up with details. Now, at this point, you can actually go to the property details page, and it's going to pull some information for you. It's going to show you the characteristics of the house, which, by the way, these little boxes right here are all editable. So let's say you go to the house, and instead of it having 2 bedrooms, it's actually got 3. So you can go click on edit, mark that out, add 3, and save it. And it'll save that information. And you say, well, why do I want, what difference does that make, Barry? Well, it makes a lot of difference when you do this, because once you get the correct information in there, if it's not there, and when you go to pull comparables up here, instead of it looking for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath and try to compare this house, where this house is actually a 3-bedroom, it's actually going to go ahead and do whatever this says it is. So it's going to pull comparables based off of the characteristics of the house. So you want to make sure that's correct. Sometimes you're not going to be able to see that, when you're creating lists. It doesn't matter, but once you actually get to a property, if you can adjust it, great. The valuations, right? Like I said, is based off of a national title company that actually is doing the whole country, and we get that data from them. Now, anytime you see a valuation score of 90 or above right here, this means that this information is pretty accurate. All right. Whenever you're looking at properties, some people make the mistake of, well, I got to analyze this thing to death. You don't really need any more information than what I'm showing you right here to create an offer, to make an offer on a property. As long as you know that you're going to try to get this thing, or at least you're going to take 70, basically 70% of the estimated valuation. And then once you go to the property and you see repairs, if there's any, you subtract that. Hey, you get there and maybe the house is immaculate. It doesn't need any repairs. Then you know to move adjust your formula accordingly. But all you need right here is the numbers, okay? You got all this information in front of you. The other thing you can do, right, is go ahead and pull comparables. So when I click on the comparables, it's going to pull up our map. It's going to pull up a comparable map. Now, the one thing that you want to do always is, number one, since this market is moving so fast, property values are dropping, you always want to be down to 3 months, the last 90 days, okay? And then in your search radius, by default, it comes to 2 miles. You always want to be as close to your subject property as possible. If you can get right in the same neighborhood or same subdivision, that's better than going way out trying to find a comp to make things work for you. Always remember, let the numbers dictate the deal. Okay. So when you move that in, I'm within a mile. I try to be a half a mile, but you can move it in as close as you want. And then I got one property. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, right? And it's telling me, let me get this floating panel. The average price is $399 because this thing sold at $399. If we actually went out 6 months, just to show you how this thing adjusts. I got 3 properties right here. And so what I would do is look at the square footage. They're about the same, right? This one's a little bit over, but it's still within the 200 plus or minus. But let's say I don't want this one because it's a little bit too big. Well, if I click on this box right here, let me do it. And I click on this box, you can see the average price changed. So this can give you an ARV, sort of. You always want to make sure that you go when you're out there looking at properties and you get something under contract and you're doing your due diligence period. You always want to reach out to a local realtor to actually get you some more accurate numbers, or your numbers may be great. Some people don't use it, a realtor, some people do. So this is how you can get that information pretty quick, fast, in a hurry using the DealDriven app. All right. Do we have any questions? If you do, open up your mic or raise your Zoom hand if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, just open up your mic.
I do have a question there, Barry, but I got to go to the ladies' room. I'll catch it on the other end. So
okay,
just bookmark it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Nobody else has any questions? I can't see if you got your hands up or anything.
Are you able to pull those comps?
Steven. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve, and then I'll get you, Dave.
Hi, this is Steve. Yeah, you and I are in the same kind of neighborhood here. I'm in Lakeland myself.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I try to work Polk and Hillsborough counties and also Pinellas. And but anyway, so what if I just wanted to do like a virtual, doing it from here and doing a virtual driving for dollars? Can you do that?
Yes, sir, you can. So
okay,
let me show you. That's a great question. All right, let me go ahead and do that. So let's go back out here. And I can just get rid of that. Now, like I said, if you have one thing you got to do, we used to have the virtual grandfather. I mean, people could get it when we first got this. Didn't cost them anything. They could do it all day long. Well, we started getting the bill from Google. And so now we have to make it an extra feature if you want it. And the way you find out what it is, the cost, is if you just go over here to your side panel, go down to my account, go to manage optional features. Okay. And the optional features will show you the virtual view, virtual property search, virtual driving for dollars as an additional 15 a month.
Oh, okay.
We used to, like I said, it used to be free up until about a year ago when they started hitting us in the head with a whole bunch of big bills. Okay, so we had to offset that to keep the price low for the uses of the app.
Right.
But to answer your question, so if I went back, let me just open up a new one. All right. So if I want to do virtual driving for dollars, right, all I would simply do is, I wish I could get rid of this floating head, is click on the eyeball right here.
Okay.
All right. And so you can see this house right here. You can go down the street, whatever. And then, hey, whoever's that talking, mute yourself. All right. So let's say you wanted to know about this property, right? Well, if you click on identify, it's going to pull up a property card for that property.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah. And then from there, you can add it to a list. Now, just, when you're doing the virtual driving for dollars, just remember that the virtual driving for dollars is basically Google Street View. And so sometimes it may be an older picture. So like this one right here, sometimes you can see the date of when they took the picture or the year. So if you look up in the sky, right? Sometimes I can't get it to stop doing it. Where'd it go? It disappeared on me. It'll show, the Google right up here. So this one says 2022.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sometimes it's older, sometimes it's newer.
Right. So now when you clicked on that, where it was extra charge for what you're doing here, and then there's an automatic charge, like one was $15 a month and one was $20 a month. What is that other one, that automatic? What does it do?
Oh, okay. Let me go back over here real quick. Manage optional features. So this is automatic Street View pictures. So what that is, because I have it enabled on my account too. When you create your list, right, it doesn't come up with pictures of the property unless you take the picture and you upload it yourself. Well, with this is what it does is whenever you create the list, over the next hour or so, it starts to populate pictures for you automatically from Google.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and those are the pictures you can use for the mailers when you do the mailers as well.
Right. Yeah, I would rather pay the extra $5 a month and get the automatic than do the one for 15 and not really get everything that you want,
Well, this is different. This is different. So what it does is it says unlimited automatic Street View pictures of your properties. This is going to give you pictures. Okay. This is going to give you the Google Street View, so you can actually drive around.
Oh, cool.
But see, you don't have to do this one because let me show you. And I'm going to get to you, Dave, here in a second. So let's say, let me go back to the house. And actually, I think I can pull up the property that I just put in there. Let me see if it didn't. Hopefully it didn't do it. All properties. All right. So if you have it in card view, which is what this is, there's two views that you can see these pictures or these this list in. Card view and then list view. List view, same information, just a different format. Okay.
Okay.
I prefer card view because when you have this, what you can do is click on get photo. And if you didn't take one with your camera, you can go to here, or if you did one with your camera, you can just upload it from here. But if you click right there, it's automatically going to go there and you can pull a picture, right?
Oh,
but
okay.
That means you'll have to do it for all of them if you don't have the automatic put in. If you have the automatic, that's what it does for you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. So, I mean, you can get them either way,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. Is it the same pictures?
Same
as what
picture. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Dave, you had a question?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I did. Is this does this support like API integration like a Zap?
You know what? I wish it did.
Okay.
I know that we're working on with our partnership. We have our own CRM, and the engineer that created this is working on it. We're trying to create a connection, a Zap between our CRM and the DealDriven app. So when people create lists, the lists are automatically overturned or ported over or imported automatically to the CRM, but he's been having a problem with making that integration.
Okay. And you mentioned you had your own CRM. Is that marketable or is that just in-house CRM?
That's in-house. If you're a part of our partnership, which is separate from this call, if you're a part of it, then you have access to it if you so desire. But yeah, it's a separate one. And I'm quite sure once we get this done, he's probably going to put it out so any CRM or any other thing, any other software you want to integrate with will work. We just got to get it to work.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who's
Hey,
that?
Barry?
Yes.
Yes, Barry?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. This is Fred Wilson. I talked to Peter and Julie a while back. I've been on and off with them for years. I mean, I knew Peter when he first started.
Mhm.
I'm trying to find out now because I'm not paying a monthly at this point. Would I need to talk to them to find out what I would need to do as far as minimum monthly to get back in? Because what I need is to create a financing, which Julie has perfected, which is great. And I know that's an extra fee. So where would I need to go in order to find out how to get back with you guys?
Just go to partnerdriven.com or I think we got a link that we put in there, Chloe, about the partnership. But if not, just go to www.partner. There you go. There's a link right there. Well, actually, don't use that link because that's the appointment for something else, I think. Where does
Because I
that link
had an
go,
appointment
Chloe?
yesterday for someone to talk to me, but he was not able to make it for whatever reason. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to find out what, where I stand and what I need to do in order to get the ball rolling again.
Yeah. Yeah, just put in another request. Just go to partnerdriven.com, go to the link that comes up on the webpage, and a salesperson will get with you and let them know that you're an existing partner before and you want to get reinstated, and talk to them about it. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Barry. Appreciate it.
Yes, no problem. Miss Schilling.
Yes, hello.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry, I joined the call late. And do we have the recording of this training?
We are recording it, and it's actually, where does that get posted at, Chloe?
I post it on the YouTube DealDriven YouTube channel. I post a new one every week.
Okay, because look, ironically, I always get on the wrong calls, like when they advertise to other partners, and hardly ever I get on the training. But the question will be very, like previous person said, I'm coming on and off on those trainings, and I'm kind of lost. I need to get back to this program. What would be the best route to take? Like, because I know you've changed, like now you have like fixed date of trainings. I get that message. So I guess I need to go through onboarding process again. It's question number 1. And question number 2 is about that list, the searches. What would be your recommendation on what criteria, based on what criteria to look for the houses? Like, of course, like vacant would be the best. What's your recommendation? Vacant with certain amount of equity, or like outside, out of state owners? What would be your recommendation? And by the way, on that screen, you have this list, edit, delete actions. When you click on actions, it shows, I guess, marketing, right? If I remember that correctly.
No.
No, but
No.
okay.
No.
Okay.
On your list. Yeah, on your list, when you see your list right here, your labels, the actions gives you the ability to skip trace it without having to open it up and select everything. It'll do the whole list for you, either free skip trace, or it'll refresh the whole list for you. So if there's any updated information on those properties, it's automatically refreshed for you. So that's that. I'll go through the list here in a minute. If you need to talk to somebody about getting back acclimated to the partnership, because this calls generally for the DealDriven app, just simply reach back out to go to the webpage. Are you a current partner? Active?
Yes, I am. I paid off the whole program. I'm just not participating much, and so I just want to get back into the training.
Okay. Yeah. Just email our support and just tell them, hey, I just need to get back on track with the daily schedule and all that good stuff. And they'll give you all that stuff with the links and everything. Okay.
Okay. It's support at partnerdriven.com.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. All right. And for those people who are not part of the partnership, please do not email that. That email has nothing to do with this. The DealDriven does have its own support email. It's support@dealdriven.com, support@dealdriven.com. Okay. All right. Renee. And I'm gonna slide on over here to the list.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, real quick, Mrs. Schilling up there in New York, thank you for that question. It actually crossed off one of mine. And Stephen as well for asking about the optional features for the rates, because I do want to do this 100% remotely, if possible, once we get to how I can make Mayberry work for me. Maybe I'll do it locally. But my goal is to do this 100% virtually. I stopped driving in 2001 and all that good stuff. So I'm not going to drive again. But I just wanted to get a little clarity, since we were touching on it, about how to figure out which one to add to the basic cost monthly of $49.95. So what Stephen, I think, pointed out was there's another option that I can take, and I can get, kill two birds with one stone and not add that initial $15.
If you're trying to do virtual driving, there's no way you can get around that. Okay. Well, yeah,
so
there's no way to get around in the app, but you can get the pictures.
Well, that's what I mean. I want to get the visuals. I know you can do a lot of stuff online, but I kind of like the one-click action that this tool offers to me. Yeah, I'm actually getting it. Like, believe it or not, it's blowing my mind that over almost 2 years, I've been looking at this whole thing. And every time I look at somebody's product, there's more add-ons and more add-ons. And by the time you look at your bill, you're paying almost $1,400 a month just to keep available the software. But I do want to try to keep it within my current budget. And so I think you mentioned that, so if I do need to add the $15 one to do the virtual, what is the next tool that I need to try to maximize if I'm just going for the pre-foreclosures? Because that's, I'm trying to streamline my target.
All right. So in all honesty, guys, you don't need the virtual driving if you're going to just create lists. If you're trying to do this virtually, then you have to know what types of lists that you're going to go after. Okay. And so that segues into the search for property leads nationwide. This is where you build your list. Okay. So when you click on it, it's going to open up. It's going to open up the lead building search. Let me clear this. Okay. And so from here, you can enter in an address, a state, a county, or a zip code. Most of the people are not going to put a state in there, because you're not going to search the whole state. The list will be massive. So you can put an address in here, a city, or a county, or a zip code. And so since you're in Mayberry, RFD, which you are actually in a good place.
You think so? Okay, show me. That's why I'm here. Yes.
All right. So Denver. Let me go ahead. Yeah, I can't spell today. Denver. We'll just go. So when you start typing,
RRY.
Yeah, Mayberry.
Sorry.
There is actually a Mayberry in North Carolina, though. There is. It starts to auto-populate. So now you're Denver, Colorado. All right. What the DealDriven app does is it kind of does, it used to just do a 1 mile, it still does, a 1 mile radius by default around the city.
Right.
So depending on where you're at, let's say I wanted to just search in Aurora, right?
I put that in. This is perfect. I'm
Okay.
following you. Yes.
All right. So instead of using the radius search,
Right.
I'll use the polygon. Okay.
Thank
So when
you.
I click on polygon, what I'm doing is I'll kind of zoom in a little bit,
Mhm.
move it over. And let's say I just want to search from this part all the way over to here. So what I'll do is I'll tap on the map.
Okay.
I'll tap here. You see it draws a line.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably scroll down to here and maybe right here.
Okay.
And this box can be moved anywhere you want it or
Right.
whatever you draw. And what it's going to do is when I say done drawing, it's actually going to search for properties in the shaded area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. Once I, and like I said, you can be real specific with this. You can do a whole neighborhood if you want to.
So that's my thing. I'm not
Yeah.
a native. I'm a transplant. And
Okay.
so I don't know the rule of the thumb that I've been learning from Julie with her lovely smile. I absolutely love her smile. Is I don't know that working class neighborhood. I know Aurora is considered one of them, and I was having trouble when I was playing around once I got into the system last night. And I did see that I skipped that step where it says continue, select, search, type. And no, the one you did previously to get it to where you are now. I apologize, but you know what I'm saying. It's like I just don't know. I mean, I think Commerce City is another one. And when I did that without doing the step that you just did in front of me, maybe that's why it wasn't showing up. I saw a lot of absentee owner. I didn't see a whole lot of sales activity happening in those areas.
Okay.
And I also didn't find the pre-foreclosures.
All right. So number one thing, when you're doing a search, whether it's radius search or draw polygon,
Okay.
once you, got the number right here of how many properties, you always want to do continue to select search type.
Okay.
This is
That's
where
what I was missing. I kept
Yeah.
getting zeros and I was like, what's going on? But this
Yeah.
helps because I was looking for that screen and the
Right.
quick tabs that you have up there so that we don't have to go to this area and click individually. So I'm following you. I think you tell me.
Okay. All right. So we have some predefined searches right here.
Mhm.
What that simply means is if you pick any one of these categories, it's going to already pre-populate the filters for you because there's
Okay.
additional filters that you can add to really streamline this thing.
Okay.
So you can use those, or you can use these right here,
Mhm.
and where you can stack these. It's called list stacking, or you can do
Oh,
individual. So if
okay.
you click on pre-foreclosures,
Right.
you're going to see there's 318 properties that have some sort of pre-foreclosure in that shaded area that we picked.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. If you wanted to see if there's any vacant properties that are pre-foreclosure, you click on it. You're going to see this big number right here, 1488.
Mm.
But that only means that when you have any, that means any property in here is going to have either one or both
Both of those that you
categories.
selected. I've got you.
Right. But if you want to make sure that you're getting vacant pre-foreclosures, you click on all
Mm-hmm.
and you see it drop it down to 5.
Nice.
Okay. I very rarely stack a pre-foreclosure because when you do pre-foreclosures, it's going to catch anything anyway.
Right.
So I tend not to use that. So I'll go ahead and uncheck that.
Mm-hmm.
If I was looking for rental properties or non-owner occupieds, I would click here,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you see we got 10,000, and then I would click on out-of-state owners. There's 3,300 of those in that shaded area. If I wanted to click on mail delivery change, it brought it down to 104.
Okay.
So you can play around with this.
Yeah.
But most people, and this is going to answer Ms. Shilling's question. And who's that in the background? Mr. Washington. Let me mute you. Making all that noise.
Mm-hmm.
Disturbing the peace.
Mhm.
So right now in this market, if you're trying to find a list that is potentially a motivated seller, and I just want to tell you guys that this DealDriven app does not find you motivated sellers, because every seller who's out there, every person that you contact, they may not be motivated, but they're a potential. With the DealDriven app, you can kind of, you know, craft it or put these things together where they're more likely to. So right now, pre-foreclosures, most of those people, they have some motivation. So you're going to click on pre-foreclosures. We're going to see there's 318, right? Properties. So I'm going to go on to additional filters, and then I'm going to pick my property type. And so here you have a choice. So if you're in an area, so this is where you have, sometimes you have to get out and drive. I mean, you just got to, because you got to know what's in the area. So sometimes you'll drive and you'll see just a whole bunch of single family homes. Sometimes you'll drive, you'll see a bunch of condos. Sometimes you'll drive, you see townhouses, duplexes in certain neighborhoods, or a combination of everything.
Right.
But just to be on the safe side, if you click on single family, right, you're going to see 255 properties, single family, that are in some sort of pre-foreclosure. Okay.
Right.
That's not a bad list. I mean,
that's actually so well within my ability, because when I see people pulling a list of 1,000, I'm like overwhelmed with that whole process.
Yeah,
I'm even happy with 185 if I can do that.
Yeah, there's no need for people. You know, most people think they don't have leads.
Yeah.
You don't have a lead problem. You have a follow-up problem.
Exactly. I'm
to follow
for the
up
people who are actually listening right now. I've got a list that I've been sitting on for like 2 years, and hopefully we'll get to a point where I can use one of those as an example. But those people are still active. I've been making phone calls and establishing relationships with them. And so here it is 2 years later, and it's a real live list again.
Yep, exactly. You know, we got plenty of examples in our partnership where people go back and get pull out gold out of the dirt. That's what I call it. Right. So when it comes to equity, you know, we usually used to say, you know, 30, you need to have at least 35%. I don't even say that no more, because it really doesn't matter because of what we do. But if you're one of those people who are not a part of the partnership and you're like, you know what, I want to find a house that's got at least 35% equity in it, or 30 or 20, you can always put it in here, and it'll actually filter out how many people in there. So if I put it in here at least 35, right, I'm gonna leave that alone because it's gonna go to 100 anyway. And when I click on it, it dropped it down, to 223, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes lower, but that's, okay. I tend not to put that in there because I don't, because we can do other things to acquire these properties. And then we have what we call the notice of default. So if you pull this is one list that you can pull, okay? Out of this list, I can probably create 3 separate lists. So my original list is right here, is 255 pre-foreclosures. I can click on it, show me the list, and it's going to show me on the map where I drew that box, where these are. And I see a lot of them going to auction like next month.
Wow. And
So
that's in Denver. Wow. I was doing it all wrong last night. Okay. Yeah.
So when you say you're in Mayberry, you're just skipping over everything.
Well, I didn't know all I saw was blue out of what is it? Non-owner occupied, which is great, but that's not where I've gotten my focus, which is pre-foreclosure. I want to help people.
There you go. So there you go. And right here, it'll show you like the ones that are going to auction, they're in red. And I'll show you something else in a minute.
Ooh.
But it'll tell you when the notice of default was given.
Right.
And when the auction is coming up.
Right.
Right. Nice. And when the information has been updated 15 days ago. So
yeah. Okay. I did see that your software is updating in real time. Like one of my locations, so the old list, 14 days ago, you guys show it there. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah. So that's one list. That's the overall list. Okay. Let's say you want to be more like, I want to create a list where I can build some relationship with or work on somebody over time. Then you can click on this and say notice of default.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody on here knows what a notice of default is. If you don't, it's basically when a person misses their mortgage payment, they get a notice from the mortgage company said, hey, you didn't
Is
make your
that where I
payment.
can actually interject that cool phrasing, which is probably Greek in origin, but less pendants? Is that where I
Less
can insert
pendants
that
is
word?
another, it's a
Yeah,
lawsuit.
because I like, is it a lawsuit or is just a notice?
No, that's the Latin version. It's a lawsuit. So
Latin.
it's, yeah. So less pendings, notice of default, notice of sale. There's different ways that
No,
people
that
put
word
this
works
out.
for me. I just like that phrasing. I just want to make sure I was grasping that concept. I can work that into the dialogue.
Gotcha. So what I'll do is I'll go here to see how many people got a notice of default after the first of the month.
Wait.
So there's 12. So
Nice.
they just got it. So this is one that you're gonna have to probably work on. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
get to them and say, hey, I noticed your property is in foreclosure or going to foreclosure. Is there anything I can do to help you? That's one.
I
If you,
will tell you this. Julie's script and intro for that is just perfect for me. Like
okay.
she has a script that everybody can have access to.
Mhm.
That's just perfect. It's not even a paragraph, for goodness sakes. It's beautiful. You're helping me with clarity today so
Okay.
much.
There you go. And so you can go all the way back to 90 days if you want
Yeah.
to, right? And create a list that way.
Right.
Or if you want to create a hot pre-foreclosure list,
Uh-huh.
right? Go to auction date and you can click on today's date,
Oh, sweet.
right? And you're
Okay.
going to see there's 159 going to auction.
Okay.
And so when you
These are the
click on
ones
it,
in dire straits. You just
yeah. So there you
streamline
go.
this so much. Yeah.
There you go. There, everything
Wow,
is
look at
red.
that. I didn't see any of that yesterday. And I was up until like 1 o'clock this morning trying to figure that doggone software out.
So yeah, there's a lot of properties that are pre-foreclosure just
Yeah.
in that area right there, in that
Nice.
small area that I blocked out in Aurora. So there you go. Mayberry's not Mayberry. You just got to get
Yeah,
out
I
and you
see.
got to
Welcome.
just
My
learn
apologies, Mayberry. Thank you. I'm here to help. All
it. There you go.
right.
So
Cool.
I hope that helped you. I want to go ahead and get a couple more questions in
Yes,
before we have to get
indeed.
off. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
You're welcome. All right, Stephen, you got your hand back up again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell her first to check out Longwood. Longwood is a very nice area, and so I mean, she could check out Longwood as well.
Longwood. Okay, I will look it
Yeah,
up. Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. So anyway, on skip tracing, what does it cost to skip trace?
Great question. So there's two skip traces in here. We have what we call the free skip trace, which only skip trace for phone numbers associated with a property. You get 1,000 of those for free every month. Okay. They don't roll over. So at the end of the month, boom, it's 1,000. So then we have the instant skip trace, which requires credits. So they, when you see right down here where it says I got 2,100 credits, that means I'm going to be able to skip trace for 3 properties. It's a third of a credit. One credit takes one credit will search 3 properties. So it's a third, a third, a third.
Okay.
So you can theoretically, if you're on a budget and you only have $10 a month for skip tracing, you can skip trace 30 properties a month using the DealDriven app. All you got to do is buy you some credits. Credits are basically under your account. So if you go to my account, payment method, right? And you already have your card already in there, just say buy credits and then drop down menu and choose what you want to buy.
So it's like 33 cents a credit then, correct?
Yes, a third of a credit. Yeah.
It's like 33 cents each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you can get and you can get how many? You said 1,000 a month for free?
Yeah, free skip trace. Now, the free skip trace, like I said, it only skip traces for phone numbers. That's all it's going to do.
Oh, okay.
And it takes 24 to 48 hours just to get that information. Whereas with the instant skip trace, you get it instantly.
Okay. All right. And will it get emails as well? if it's possible to get emails,
As far as what do you mean by emails?
like you know, to like, you know, like send out an email to them or something, or
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
okay.
let me show you real quick. Let me go. I just pulled this one today. It's in my zip code. All right. So if I wanted to, let me do a skip trace. Move this out the way. So if I want to skip trace all of these properties, I'll just simply click on here, select all of them, or I can do individual, doesn't matter. The free owner lookup, that is the free one. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me just undo this. I'll do a waste. So free one, it's going to go ahead and do the processing. It's going to say request for a free skip trace on one property or however many you choose. I'll say yes. It's going to process. It's going to tell me it got requested, and then it turns yellow. That means it's pending. Okay.
All right.
In a few days, that number will pop up. If I want to skip trace instantly, let me go ahead and select the rest of them, take that off. And I'll go ahead and click on this thing out the way. Owner, email, phone, lookup. So when I click that, it's going to tell me how many properties that I'm doing or skip tracing, how many each will consume. So it's a third of a credit. Tells me how many credits I have available and how many it's going to take to do this skip trace. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then just the side note, if it returns an email address or returns a phone number or confirms an owner mailing address, any of those, one of those or all three, then it will charge you the credit. If it doesn't return any information, it will not charge the credit.
Gotcha.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, cool.
So when I click on yes, skip tracing in the background, I'll say okay. And then I can go over here to refresh. And boom, I got my numbers. So right here, got a cell phone number. I can text it, or I can call the home phone if that's a home phone. Email address, I can send them an email, right? If I want to do direct mail, I can actually do the same thing. I just pick the properties, go to direct mail, start direct mail. I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna pull up all of our templates. Okay, so we got a few templates in here you can choose from.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
And like to send a postcard maybe, you know?
So you choose that. And let's say I wanted to choose this one right here. I'll click on it. It'll turn green. I'll start my mailer. All right. It's going to say how many credits. It was supposed to be 1 credit per property. That got changed. I don't know what's happening with that. It's still saying 1.5, but that's fine. So I'll let it do its little processing thing. It's still spinning. Okay. And then if I do refresh, they're pending. They're in yellow. Okay. That means it's pending. This information that goes to a third party company and they mail it out at midnight, and this will turn green. Let me know that, hey, it got mailed out. If I want to see what the postcard looks like, I can click on it, preview mailer. It's going to load up. All right. So this is the front of the postcard. It has the picture that's already in there. So that's what it looks like. Is this your property? So I'll see that picture. And then I'll have their email and their mailing address and everything. And I'll have my greeting. And you can have a logo put in there. You can have your picture put in there. Either way.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got to stop that because I'm not sending no mailers out. So let me stop it. Go to actions. Stop direct mail. Yes. All right. So that's pretty much it for that. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Easy peasy, right?
Yes, it is. It looks like it.
Well,
And,
it just
and
takes
don't, and don't cost you a fortune.
yeah. You just have to, get into it and start just using it trial by ear. Look at some of the videos, get on the YouTube channel, check it out. Gene, you have a question? I think this will be the last question, and I gotta go for this. Hello, Gene.
While we're waiting for Gene, we will get a replay on that YouTube channel
Hello?
that I just got linked to.
Yes. Yes, Renee.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Sorry
Gene,
about
what you got?
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. About when looking up properties and it shows taxes due.
Mhm.
And one of the properties I looked up, it says not paid in 2018.
Mhm.
Does it mean they did not pay in 2019, 2020, or it was just one year?
Just
you so
that
much.
one, generally it's gonna be that 1 year. And if they didn't pay 2018, you can dig a little further with the county records where you're at, your tax assessors, and see if they missed any other years. But generally that's gonna be reported what they missed that year.
Okay, so it could have been just 1 year, but it's a starting point.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
And second question, if I can, once doing postcards, can you edit postcard or it's just what you see?
No, you can edit those. You can.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can put some additional information if you wanted to.
If you wanted to, yes, you could. If you feel that it's needed, generally you don't really need to, but you do, you can edit it. You also, just FYI, everybody, if you do this one, the one postcard, then it's only going to go out one time. In order to do a campaign, you have to pick the multiple direct mail campaign and the additional options feature. Multi-step direct mail campaign is $20 extra, but that's not per card. It's for, if you send out 100 cards, to do a multi-step campaign, as long as you have this active, that $20 a month, it will follow the campaign. And I can go over how to set up a campaign in another session, because it takes a little bit to go through it, but it's pretty simple. But I can go over that the next time I'm jumping on here. Just somebody just remind me, because I may not be on next Thursday, maybe Julie, but I'll probably be on the following Thursday. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep. You're welcome. David Washington, or Donald Washington, excuse me.
Yeah. Hey, when you skip trace, you get the emails and cell phone. Do you have scripts for the emails and cell phones, or?
Great question. And so for us, we don't have a pre-canned script when it comes to using the DealDriven app and sending text through the DealDriven app or email through the DealDriven app. What I typically tell everybody is, hey, just go to YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but go to Google and just type in text script or email script real estate. And you'll get a whole bunch of stuff. And then you just tailor it to what fits you. Don't just pick one random one, right? Pick something that fits you.
Yeah.
And then I can show you guys in here again the next time how you actually add a script or anything into your, it's called a template, basically.
Yeah, template. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can add that in there. And so anytime you're picking up vacant properties and you got a list of vacant properties, all you got to do is click on that vacant property template that you already created. And when you send your mail or your text or whatever, it's going to go ahead and send that with the correct address corresponding to each property and owner information. You don't have to keep typing that stuff in. Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Before I go, does anybody else have any questions? Because I'm getting ready to end this call for right now. Oh, going once, going twice. Go ahead and stop the share. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for spending the time with me this Thursday. Like I said, we do this webinar every Thursday, or this meeting basically every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on every Thursday.
Hi there, Barry.
I knew you was gonna say something.
I
just
did
knew
have
it.
one more thing. I did have one more thing. And then my screen changed and everything. I thought I unmuted myself. I'm sorry. Of course I had a question. I'm hyped, everybody. Are you? So maybe I'll just send this to support, but I just want to fine tune the budget that I have for all the components that I'm going to need, with my focus being pre-foreclosure, owner occupied, and all that good stuff,
Non-owner occupied.
Right. And so I've now forgotten the question, but this was excellent. So thank you. The clarity is becoming more clear by the second. I'm hoping to make somebody's day a little bit better. December 31st.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. For those of you guys who do not have the DealDriven app, right? You can try it out for free for 7 days. The link is in the chat. Somewhere up there. I think she's going to put it back in there again. Right, Chloe?
I actually have something to say about that. So the link, like the server's down for the link. So it's just going to be sent to everyone through email once the server's back up. So.
Okay.
That.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys will get the link via email. Because I think they had to sign up with email to get on this webinar.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody who's wanting to get it, I guess you'll get an email, and if you want to choose to go ahead and sign up, then do it. But like I said, it's a 7-day free trial. Try it, take it out there, try to do your best to tear it up, use it. And I'm pretty sure if you use it, you're going to love it. Okay. We keep improving on this thing. There's some other stuff that's happening that I didn't share with you guys because we just don't have time. But there's going to be one feature where if you create a list, right, you save the list and you just let it go, but you want to be able to get updated information on a daily basis, especially if it's pre-foreclosure. When you enable that, you'll start getting daily updates on different pre-foreclosures that happen in that area. And those are added to the list. You'll get an email and it'll be added to your list. And so we're going to have that feature cracking off pretty soon in the next few weeks. That's just one of many, but I'm super excited to, for 2023, we're going to be using this thing like it's crazy. Like it's like we're drinking water, right? You're going to go out, you're going to be like, hey, I'm out here driving around. You start noticing the houses. I wonder who owns this house. Pull out that app. Boom. Got that information. And if you're bold enough and brave enough, go ahead and skip tracing and call them right then and there. If it's a vacant property or there's nobody home, and said, hey, you own 123 Main Street? Yeah, I'm standing out here right now. I'm looking to buy houses. You willing to sell? And you just go ahead and go through it. But guys, really, make sure you get on these trainings. If there's anything that you guys want to see, make sure you go to the DealDriven community and put in there certain requests. Also in the DealDriven app itself, you can actually request features. I didn't show you guys that, but you can go on the side panel, scroll down, and it says suggested features, and you can put all your suggestions in there, because most of these changes happen because of people like you who said, hey, I need this, I want that, let's get away with that. And Ben looks at it and he's like, can we do this now? No. Can we do it in 3 months? Maybe. But trust me, you put it in there, we'll see it. Okay. So
one more question. I'm sorry. One more. How soon will this be uploaded to that YouTube channel that I just got hooked up into?
How soon will this webinar be posted?
Yes.
Hopefully next week sometime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chloe.
You're welcome.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, happy New Year. You guys be safe out there. Don't go out drinking and driving. Right. Stay home if you need to. But most importantly, I wanted to send blessings out to each and everybody's families. That you guys have a blessed day, a blessed New Year's, and a better, prosperous 2023. All right. All right, guys. All right. You guys have a great day. I will see you soon. See you next year.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Renee.
You too. Thank you.
All righty.